move on now to our next reader, who is from neighboring Pakistan. And it's Ilona Yusuf, who's a designer and printmaker and editor and a sometime poet, she says. And in her words, not necessarily in that order, because I don't write enough, or there are gaps between writing, and because poetry doesn't pay. Well, it changes the world, but it doesn't pay. Ilona will have to speak on that herself. She edited a special issue on Pakistan for Vellum, a magazine of contemporary poetry published from Montreal, and was editor of the Alhambra Literary Review. Currently, she's the associate editor for the Aleph Review, a yearly Pakistani art and literature journal which publishes local and international writing. And she has served in that capacity since 2017. She has also freelanced for several local and features magazines, writing on art, artists, and writers, and has published essays on Pakistani poetry in English in international publications. Ilona Yusuf, you are very warmly, very cordially invited to start your contribution. Please unmute yourself, and the mic is yours.
Am I good?
There we
Hello?
are. Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Thank you for having me here, Wakas, and thank you everyone for being here. I feel my poems are better on the page than read out loud, but I will try because I write with what I think is extreme compression. So there's words and I'm not sure how it works when I read them, but nevertheless, I shall try. I'm going to try and do a cross-section of different poems because the first one is a little bit maybe depressing. It's called Faith. I think, I'm not sure whether I should explain the context. So I went to a herbal store and I was given a beautiful little, very well laminated, lamination, as you know, is plastic. And aside from the ecological concerns or the environmental concerns, there is the fact that it is indestructible. And we have a problem with religious intolerance. So this is a play on that. It's called Faith. 2 inches by 3, folded in thirds, holy verses, special prayers inscribed within red borders. A gift given with thick solemnity over the counter at the herbal store. Fashioned of paper, stiffened with glue, layer on layer, finished in fine lamination. In another time, you might have melted the word of God that you might not want to keep in water, ink bleeding into paper, paper melting into nothing. But this tiny pamphlet, soaked, kneaded, soaked again, kneaded, is unyielding, irreducible, sprung, awaiting the unwitting, the untaught, the challenged, the keepers of the faith, ever vigilant to unleash death. The second one is also religious, but in a different way. It's called Freeway, and it's from Songs of Arizona, which is like a group of poems that I've written from my time spent in Arizona. So Freeway. Ahead in the wave of weekend traffic winding its way along the 101, a biker. Chariot reined in like a tamed beast, low-throttled, vibrating. The bike floats through rows of cars. Jesus is Lord, his back shouts in white letters. Broad shoulders, nipped waist, ramrod straight, he's all leather, and more grasps the handlebars. Up front, around the goggles, he's tough, reddened, deep lines scoring the corners of his mouth. The next poem is something that's kind of a work in progress. It's about gardens. So I'm just going to read some excerpts from it. I think it will probably be called Garden Sequence, and it begins with a verse from a poet called Sadi and one from Shakespeare. If of thy mortal goods thou art bereft, and from thy slender share 2 loaves alone to thee are left, sell one, and with the dole buy hyacinths to feed the soul. So that's Sadi. And the next is, O mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. And now it's my poem. The smallest garden I have ever had, a patch, a rectangle, a pocket handkerchief folded long and thin. Out of the landscape, a litter with stillborn images, aborted dreams, beneath winter soil hard packed, webbed and netted, map of roots purple-greened, moss quilt tucked firm. I plunge fingers into lichened dark, encounter fragments, root, pebble, sharp glass shard, and deep in the grit, the panicked writhe of a sudden worm. Here, fingers of shadow no longer stretch themselves into the new green. The sullen, raucous crows are ousted. Those flickerings, whisperings, hissings on the latent air made silent. The thumbs that couldn't grow things have made fecund this patch as it lay still, compacting, compressing. Then energy, quickenings, churning soil, stones displacing root, root jostling stone, moving pebble, wood rot. Now the round O of my pleasure as the soft snow of plum blossom, then balm of rain, and now the geranium stalk pushed careless into soil presents a crimson flower. That light headiness of spring's breeze brings the acrid bite of spike-white curryflower, honeyed lemon, bunched many-headed roses, the uniform hum of bees, and candle flame nubs tipping the fig branches. I'll read one more poem, which is, again, very different. It's called Flaking Smoked Fish. I didn't write for a long time, and it seemed that my mind was frozen. And this poem I was flaking smoked fish, as the title says, and something moved. So it's Flaking Smoked Fish. Culinary? No, not. Just pleasure. Slipcover skin glistening, smoke gray stippled silver, peels easy from flesh, segmented, firm, sweet salt. And the arc of bone as it lifts from coral fillet is something so perfect. Here, curved white scimitar, there, hair fine, cartilaginous, that the mind, at last, the mind in stasis, moves. Thank you.
He's a laureate of the Nigerian National Order of Merit. Nee, most welcome. I'm so glad you are here. So over to you.
Thank you very much, my friend Wakas. Really thank you and Agnes College for bringing us together, for bringing the world of poets together. This is one parliament in which I always consider myself a little eloquent. And having just spoken with Kerry Keys, the two of you brought very powerful memories of Iowa 1988. Poetry unites, no doubt about it. I'll be reading 3 very short poems, and I think we all have our work cut out for us, as it were. The situation of our world and the situation of our planet. I'm holding my breath, and I ask you, workers, to pardon my plagiarism. See, the 3 poems I will be reading have one thing or another to do with the state of this world, our world, and this earth, our earth. I'll begin with a very short Yoruba song. The translation really is, you who hold power in the world, do something good with it. You who are on the other side of power, make sure that you make those who hold power do something with the power in their hand. Ẹ ṣe rere kó dára. Ẹ ṣe rere kó dára o. Ẹ̀yin táyé kan, ẹ ṣé o. Dúró re kárìíra. Dúró re kárìíra o. Ẹ̀yin táyé kan, dúró o. Compassion is not a sin. We either love one another or we die separately. This poem is titled The Large Heart. When last did you say hello to a neighbor or share with him or her the early pick from your backyard garden? When last did you lower that fence, trim those sunny hedges, and throw a handshake across their forbidden path? When last did you stop in the street to crack a joke or savor a banter and spread the healing magic of laughter? When last did you say, bless you, to soothe a sneeze, or oh, take care to one who has stubbed a toe? When last did you offer a meal to a hungry stranger and command the water in your well to wash their feet? When last did your dough of friendship rise in the furnace of the sun, your milk of mercy in the pitcher of the moon? When last did you think about your fattened cow and the skinny swan song of the begging bowl, the symphony of your silk and the scream of the national rag? When last did you throw a bridge across the gulf and sow little stars in the darkness of forgotten skies? A genuine smile is longer than a mile. A large heart is not a medical problem. The second, the last two short poems will be coming from my new book about the state of our planet and our earth, this earth, which we all own, and for which we all should have a responsibility. The title is Green, Size of our alien planet. I love trees. I grew up in the rainforest area of Nigeria. My father was a farmer, so I grew up loving the earth, thanking the earth for all it has given us, and respecting it, and also trying to tell the world we should not waste it. What happens when we waste the trees? Our world is facing many dangers, and this is why I thank Agnes Scott College for organizing this. This is a time of so many emergencies in our world, physical and non-physical, now ecological. Here are trees talking. Yes, they do talk. I wrote this poem immediately after that terrible fire in the Amazon forest about 2 years ago. We bleed when cut. We are the trees of the world. We are the trees of life. We laugh, we cry, we whisper, we shout. We breed, we brood, we breathe. We carry the planet in our careful hands, a tender burden, historic task, the loom and latch of a naked world. We robe the earth in our green embrace. Hour by hour, we lose our skin to waste, to war, and the senseless blaze, the careless axe, the haughty chainsaw, and the cannibal greed of the rich and strong. Behold the spider monkey and the spectacled bear, the butterflies and the forest crabs, the eloquent parrot, the sagacious owl, the cool canopy, and the traveling roots. A tree never falls alone in the forest. It takes our future with the crashing leaves. The blind gold digger, the reckless farmer, subject your greed to the need of all. We are the trees of the world. We are the trees of life. Pearls from the past, flowers of the future. We burn when ignited. We bleed when cut. We are the vital lobe of the lungs of the planet. And the last one, very, very short. This is an evocation of the major rivers of the world as metaphors for the places where they come from and our planet. Title is Wishes. Wish I could still laugh with the lotus on the bank of the Nile, take off my clothes and dive into the Zambezi. Join spirit dancers in the middle of the Ganges, rock with the Rio to the thunder of the samba, fan the Yangtze's face with feathers of the moon, teeth the Thames with a shoeless foot, embrace the vulgar with open arms. Ask the Mississippi for a bowl of water. Oh, alas, between cup and lip, an acre of wishes. Sherere kodara, sherere kodara o, ẹni táyé kan, ẹ ṣé o. Thank you very much again, workers, my friend, and thank you, Agnes College.